It's Memorial Day weekend. Sad we've lost the freedom our ancestors fought for. What's up, everybody? Welcome aboard to Bubba's Bottom Line for Sunday, May the 26th. And of course, it is Memorial Day weekend, and happy Memorial Day. And actually, it's not happy. It is our thoughts and prayers go out to all those who had members of their family serve and that we've lost in war. But we will get to that in our commentary later. In the meantime, we continue to give up our freedom. So the fight from our ancestors who fought for our freedom, it's going away. And nobody cares and nobody wants to do anything about it. But we continue to watch the disintegration of our freedom. But finally, Janet Yellen acknowledges that the cost of living is a problem for consumers. Gee, you think, Janet Yellen, you dumbass bitch, that there's a finally a problem for consumers that we've been talking about here for years since you came out with that ridiculous transitory inflation? You really think there's a problem that people are living in the street, that we can no longer afford to eat? But let's keep talking about transitory inflation. I think it's interesting that we worry about things, we spend money on things, except for the things that are really important in this country. But maybe we'll see things starting to change. I mean, we know that the justice system is bullshit. We know that we just watched a trial with Donald Trump, and whether you think that he did something wrong or not is not the issue. The point is that you have a sitting president and an administration trying to try his political opponent, okay, and keep him from actually running. But of course, Blackstone's Steve Schwarzman endorses Trump, says that the nation is going in the wrong direction under President Biden. You think that it's going into the wrong direction? You think that all of this debt that we've created, do you think that everything that's going on is any good? Are you kidding me? Can we really believe, forget about whether you like Trump or not like Trump, or you like Biden or you don't like Biden, did he do a good job? And the answer has got to be a resounding no. I don't care what the number's saying, because I know one of my buddies out there is going to step on this and say, well, but here's the numbers. And I'm going to say the numbers are bullshit. I'm going to say that if you look around and you see what's going on, that all the numbers they report are bullshit, which of course has been proven once again, because another massive revision on the durable goods. You are very good at looking at the headline number, but follow the number all the way through, and you will find out that the numbers are bullshit. From the jobs that they say that have been created, which over 50% have been government, and out of the remaining 50%, those have always been revised lower. 18 out of the last 20 job reports have been revised lower. Okay, so again, and talk about loss of freedom. Well, at least finally, a House panel voted to rehire the troops that were fired for not taking the COVID-19 vaccine, which I told you was bullshit, and I was sorry that I took it myself. But again, you're destroying the freedom of choice. And of course, there's now talk about the World Health Organization, this pandemic treaty with the bird flu that's going to be hitting this country. Don't be surprised if something silly happens between now and the election, because of course the people that are in control right now want to maintain control. If you think that this is not being controlled and the narrative is not being controlled by this administration, then you better think again. Okay, the Democratic Party, from when I grew up, was supposed to be for the little guy and for the small business. This administration is strictly for big business and to fuck the middle class and screw the low end and forget about everybody else. Make it easy for those who have it to keep it, and so they can talk about taxing the billionaires and all the bullshit that they want. And you hear Joe Biden talking about that the grocery stores are ripping you off. Okay, they're charging too much. You know, Mr. President Biden, if you'd stop spending so much money on China and greasing the wheels for Ukraine and taking all those paybacks, maybe we wouldn't have these kind of problems right now. Okay, oil continues to go lower. Now, again, that's a good thing, but it's a bad thing because it's based on a lack of demand. So once again, the electric vehicles aren't growing. Those sales are crashing. Oil is going lower. That's telling you that the economy itself is in trouble. The demand for the number one resource that we use, which 80% of every product you use is involved in the fossil fuel industry. From the plastic water bottles that you get to the delivery of the goods to the stores to driving your car. Okay. But let's be thrilled that 1 in 7 children live in poverty. Okay. Let's be thrilled that now that McDonald's and Burger King have had to create or recreate the reintroduction of the $5 meal because people can't afford it. Now we've gone from the big expensive chains of food. Now Darden Restaurants is the number one food chain, which is the Olive Garden and the lower side of the restaurant industry. And there's nothing wrong with it. They're very good restaurants. But even the wealthy are stepping down. And of course, the wealthy are stepping down from the higher end department stores and into the Walmarts now, which they never would go to the Walmarts before. So again, I think you look at what is going on here and you have to wonder, okay, about the policies of this administration. I mean, the energy policies have helped our adversaries. We have helped make China stronger. We have helped make Russia stronger. We have helped all of our enemies become better because of the policies. Now you have to ask yourself, if you're really an American, okay, are you happy with what's going on? There was an interview from a person that came across the border illegally that paid the cartel $10,000. And he said, I don't understand how easy it is to get in this country. He says, what is this country doing? And I have to ask you, what do you think and how can you allow this roughshod over the border, allowing the cartels to get rich for helping the people get across the border, from the lack of us doing anything to stop from coming in the border, and you get the benefit of paying for every one of those illegals that cross that border, okay? Because they come into the system and you get the privilege and the honor and the benefit of paying taxes for what they're doing. Now, I don't know if you're happy with what's going on, but I am certainly not, okay? New capital gains tax I want to talk about. I want to talk about other new taxes. Do you want to pay more taxes for less service? You want to pay more taxes for less so that your politicians can get rich? I don't care if you're Republican or Democrat. They're all fucking criminals, okay? They're all stealing from you and me, okay? Are you happy with being ripped off? Are you happy with paying for this nonsense, okay? For imbeciles like Janet Yellen, Jerome Powell, and the rest of the administration? I mean, again, if you look at the big picture in the scheme, okay, the Fed is not supposed to be involved in what they're involved in. Okay, they have two jobs, two mandates: price stability and employment. Okay, well, supposedly we have full employment. Okay, so if they would leave the free markets alone and let price discover itself, we would know what interest rate should be priced at. We shouldn't be seeing ridiculous market movement on the hope that the rich can get richer because interest rates are going to lower so they can borrow money and put it in the markets. It makes no sense to me. But I'm only one man, and it is Memorial Day weekend. And again, I do think about all those who served. We're going to step out here for a break. This is Bubba's Bottom Line for Sunday, May the 26th. We'll be right back with more in our market report. Bubba's Bottom Line. What's up, kids? Well, as you know, we have some partners that sponsor the show, and of course, they're brokerage partners. And a reminder that I have many brokers, and I do have the ones that I recommend for you the most. And I think that you should certainly take a look and check them out. Again, if you don't want to use them, don't use them. It's really something that I vet these, I use them. These are my core main brokers, but one being Capital Trading Group, which is for our letter of direction in futures and commodities trading. And of course, they do a great job. They're partnered with us on a couple of products. And again, you never get any better customer service than you'll get from them. And that's capitaltradinggroup.com. It's info.capitaltradinggroup.com/Bubba. It's also on the sidelines. And of course, TRADIER brokerage, $10 a month flat. I mean, you kidding me? For equities and options, saves me over $100,000 a year in commissions. Even at reduced commissions, I'm paying $10 a month flat. Why aren't you? And of course, you can automate our programs through TRADIER, which is again a big benefit as well. So you don't even have to think about it. And of course, Wealth Charts, which is our new education partner and new platform that we're using. And of course, our high school program, which if you want to help us out, we're trying to rebuild and educate our people so we don't end up in the same shithouse we're in right now. In the meantime, let's get back to Bubba's Bottom Line with me, Todd Bubba Horwitz, and our market report. Welcome back. This is Bubba's Bottom Line. It is Sunday, May the 26th. And of course, the markets, mediocre week. Still certainly in an uptrend, still going higher. Again, whether you believe it or not, and you don't have to believe it, but whether you believe it or not, they're going higher. Okay. I mean, Thursday's meltdown was no big deal. Okay. Again, we said it all week that there's going to be a sell-off. It came Thursday. Okay. So Friday, what does it do? It goes back up again. And we'll see what happens on Tuesday. I mean, again, we don't know the answer for sure. But right now, you'll consider that you're still in a downtrend. Now, again, as you know, or if you've been paying attention, that every day I give you whether we're flat in or out of a market, what direction. So as it sits right now, in the four major indices, we would be long the NASDAQ and the S&P and short the Dow and the Russell. Okay. Again, I don't know where we're going to be Tuesday morning, but this is the core. This is the direction. This is the trend still right now. The dollar, which we no longer trading, and I remind you, it has nothing to do with the dollar itself. It's strictly the cost getting ripped off from New York. So the dollar we would be short. Okay. The euro currency we are long. The bonds and notes we are long, which I hate that part because I know interest rates are going higher. Okay. In my mind, interest rates are going higher, and the 10-year will be over 5% by the end of the year. But again, I'm not going to fight the trend. Bitcoin, we're long, okay, and that is going higher, okay. And again, I think that Bitcoin is real. Again, I'm not telling you to go out and take your life savings. If you buy Bitcoin, buy it with what you can afford. And of course, there's many ETFs you can take a lot smaller risk on. If you like, gold would be short again. Silver would be long. Now, again, you saw the big move in gold. It's no surprise, but one of the things I always warn you about is when markets go up too fast or down too fast, there's a greater probability that they're going to have some reversal. And platinum is also headed back towards 1,000 after getting to 1,100. We don't trade it anymore, but certainly we would be long right now. The grain markets were long across the board, and they've been acting very, very good. Okay, the technical part of those have been terrific. So the trend has been great. And of course, in the cattle, we don't trade anymore, but I am short it and continuing to fight this market. It just doesn't jive with the economy. But again, I'm wrong. Okay, just to be clear. Hogs, I'm long, and they've been down about 14 out of the last 15 days. I'd expect a sell-off in cattle and a rally in hogs. Again, that would just be temporary. I'm not going to say that the actual movement's going to change. Natural gas, we're long, and again, it's been working its way higher. In the softs, first of all, I'm sorry, crude oil, we're still short. Okay. And in the softs, cocoa, we're short, cotton, we're short, sugar, we're short, OJ, we're long, and coffee, we're long. So again, look, there's not a lot to get excited about. There's not a lot going on. We're still quiet, but there was a little bit of action towards the end of the week. So it is something to take note of. In the meantime, let us step out here for a break and come back with our final market commentary. Our final commentary, not market commentary, but commentary. Let us step out for a break. This is Bubba's Bottom Line. It is Sunday, May the 26th. Well, kids, I'm not going to go through the whole speech. I just remind you of our partners, and that is TRADIER Brokerage, Capital Trading Group, Wealth Charts, and of course, our high school program. So remember, check them out. They're on the sides. And again, it's to your benefit, not mine. That's who I use. I want to share it with you. In the meantime, let's get back to Bubba's Bottom Line and, of course, my commentary. Welcome back. It is Bubba's Bottom Line. It is Sunday, May the 26th. And, of course, every week I do a little bit of commentary. And, I had to tell you how sad it is that this being Memorial Day weekend, those who lost their lives fighting for our freedom, fighting for me, fighting for you, okay? And of course, my father and father-in-law were both served. They didn't lose their lives there. They've died, but they didn't lose them in war. But people are fighting for our freedom, and of course, our government continues to steal our freedom every day, step at a time. And the biggest thievery started with the FISA warrants after 9/11. And you continue to see that President Biden and this administration, and again, this is not a partisan, this is bipartisan. Both sides are screwing us by taking our freedom with every law and everything they do. And not only are they taking our freedom, but they're making us pay to take our freedom. And I don't know about you, but I am certainly not happy to being screwed by my government, who wants to take away my ability to own guns, wants to take away my money, wants to charge me more taxes, wants to tax me on things I haven't even earned yet, while they want to try to manipulate markets ahead of an election so that they can win. They want to prosecute a political opponent, which has never been done in history, to try to keep them out of the election. So all of that fighting and all those lost lives that we are celebrating this weekend and today, Memorial Day and Memorial Day weekend, what do they fight for? They didn't fight for the shit we have now. They didn't fight for what we have now. We didn't fight to have a racist running this country. Okay, we didn't fight to be paying 50% of your money to taxes. We didn't fight for this. We didn't fight to have the federal government being the biggest employer in the world. Okay, it was never designed that way. Read the Constitution and you'll find out. But to all of those families of those who served in law's lives and those who are serving now, I salute you and I thank you on this Memorial Day weekend. It is an honor to be able to share and thank you, hopefully personally, but at least through here, and you and your families, because again, it's always a big loss. And for those who fought for our freedom, thank you. I appreciate it. I can't ever do it without you. And for those who lost lives, to their families, my sympathies, but I thank you as well. And again, we got to do better. Otherwise, we're going to be a third world nation. This is Bubba's Bottom Line. Todd Bubba Horwitz. Have a great Memorial Day weekend, everybody. And once again, I salute and thank everybody who helped serve this country. Thank you.